A few years ago, a good friend of mine found out he had a brother and a sister he never knew existed through social media. I imagine if crocodiles use social media to find long-lost relatives, it might look something like this. My approach, however, was a little bit more traditional. Imagine that not long after you were born, you're separated from your family. You're given to another family and you took their name, but through your whole life, you never felt like you quite fit in. Well, that's kind of the story of the Lightning Ridge croc, a crocodile that lived over 100 million years ago during the time of the dinosaurs. It was first described in 1917 by a British paleontologist. He named it Crocodylus botosaurus Selaslophensis. It's a bit of a mouthful. He described it based on a fragment of jawbone with 6 teeth in it. It wasn't looked at again until 1980 by an Australian paleontologist who realised it belonged to neither the Crocodylus nor the Botosaurus genus. In other words, it had been given the wrong name. However, nothing else much could be done due to lack of evidence. You see, this is a common problem with the fossils that we find at Lightning Ridge. Quite often they're found disarticulated or unassociated with other skeletal remains. And as you might imagine, it's pretty difficult to describe an entire species based on one tooth, or one bone, or a fragment of bone. Flash forward to 2006, and a crocodile named Isis is discovered in outback Queensland, only about 1,500 k's from Lightning Ridge. Isis is significant because it's the oldest known member of the group that contains modern, living crocodiles. Recent studies have shown us that Isis lived at exactly the same time as the Lightning Ridge croc. And through analysing the fossils of Isis and the Lightning Ridge croc, I have come to several conclusions. The first is that back in 1917, that piece of jawbone was wrongly diagnosed as belonging to the lower jaw. It actually belongs to the upper jaw. Once I realised this, I was then able to make direct comparisons between fossils of Isis and the Lightning Ridge croc. And I found similarities. Namely, the teeth at the back of the jaw sit in a deep groove. This isn't seen in any other species of croc. This similarity is so compelling that I am confident that the Lightning Ridge croc is Isis. This is significant because it further cements Australia as the birthplace of modern living crocodiles. So, after 100 years, with the wrong name, this guy has finally found his place in the world. And I think that's worthy of a status update.